Hey, Nathan here, welcome back to another video for the PGL2D Alpha series. And in this video we are going to implement the InputState class. Now this class is going to be a wrapper for all of our input states. For right now it's just going to be wrapping the keyboard state, but when we add mouse support it'll be using the mouse state as well. So let's go ahead and get started. It's going to be a sealed class. We don't want to override, don't want anybody to override. So public sealed class input state. And it's going to implement iFreezable, where we want to be able to freeze our input state to not worry about getting any more input. If our entire game is frozen, we don't have to constantly poll the input system for any inputs. Public. So let's set up the properties here. Public keyboard state. So the keyboard state, we're going to have to use using Microsoft Native Framework.input. And go ahead and add using Microsoft Native Framework at the top as well. So the keyboard state, this is built into the monogame framework, and that just represents the current state of our keyboard. So I'm going to call this property keyboard state. It's going to be get and private set. Alright. Now I'm going to implement the iFreezable property. So public bool is frozen get and set. Alright. Now at the top, I'm going to implement the constructor, so public input state. I'm going to set the keyboard state is equal to keyboard.getState. When I generate the object, I want the keyboard state to automatically be set already. So we set that by calling the keyboard.getState is frozen is equal to false. It's not going to be frozen at this moment. The last thing we want to do is have an update method. Public void update game time. Even though we won't use the game time right now, we might in the future. So if our input state is frozen, we are simply going to return. We're not going to do anything. Otherwise, we're going to do exactly what we did in the constructor. Keyboard is equal to, or keyboard state is equal to keyboard.getState. And that is it for this class. So this is a sealed class. We don't want anybody to override this. It's going to have two properties: a public keyboard state, and keyboard state is built into monogame. You'll need to add using Microsoft Native Framework.input. The input state implements iFreezable, so we need to have another property for public bool is frozen. Then we have a constructor that sets the keyboard state and is frozen values. The last thing we have is a update method, and that just sets the keyboard state to the current keyboard state unless the object is frozen, which if it is frozen, it does nothing. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one.